Welcome back to the Wilderness Adventure Podcast, where we explore the beauty of nature and share unforgettable outdoor experiences. I'm Jake, your host, and today I want to take you on a journey deep into the heart of the wilderness, where I recently spent a few nights camping completely off the grid. If you have ever wondered what it's like to sleep under the stars, wake up to the sound of birds, and truly disconnect from the modern world, then this episode is for you. So, let's dive in. A few weeks ago, I packed up my gear, grabbed my backpack, and set off on a solo camping trip in the heart of the forest. No phone signal, no electricity, just me, my tent, and the great outdoors. The first challenge? Hiking deep enough into the woods to find a perfect campsite. I wanted a spot near a freshwater stream, somewhere quiet with enough open space to set up a fire but still surrounded by trees for shelter. After about 2 hours of trekking through the dense forest, I found it. A clearing with soft moss on the ground, the gentle sound of water flowing nearby, and enough distance from the main trail to feel truly alone. Setting up camp was the next big task. I pitched my tent, gathered firewood, and set up a small cooking area, using some rocks to create a windbreak for my stove. But here's something I quickly learned. Starting a fire in the wild isn't as easy as it looks in movies. The wood was slightly damp, and without dry kindling, it took several attempts before I finally got a steady flame going. But once I did, there was nothing more satisfying than sitting by that fire, watching the flames dance, feeling the warmth against the cool evening air. As night fell, the forest transformed. The air grew colder, the sky turned into a canvas of stars, and the sounds of nocturnal creatures filled the air. I could hear owls hooting in the distance, the rustling of small animals moving through the underbrush, and the distant howls of coyotes echoing through the valley. It was both peaceful and eerie at the same time. I'll be honest, sleeping alone in the wilderness can be a bit unnerving at first. Every little sound outside the tent makes you wonder, what was that? But after a while, you learn to embrace the sounds of nature instead of fearing them. The next morning, I woke up with the first light of dawn. The air was crisp and the forest was alive with the sound of birds chirping. I made myself a simple breakfast, oatmeal and coffee cooked over the fire. There's something about eating in the middle of the wilderness that makes even the simplest meal taste incredible. After breakfast, I decided to explore the area. I followed the stream deeper into the forest, discovering a hidden waterfall that wasn't on any map. The water was crystal clear, and I couldn't resist taking a quick dip. It was freezing, but refreshing. Spending time alone in nature gives you a new perspective on things. There are no distractions, no deadlines, just you and the world around you. I spent the rest of the day fishing, collecting firewood, and simply enjoying the stillness of the forest. It's amazing how much clarity you can find when you remove yourself from the constant noise of everyday life. That evening, as I sat by the fire watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink, I realized just how much I needed this trip. We often get so caught up in our routines that we forget the simple joys of being in nature. Camping alone might seem intimidating, but it's one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. It teaches you resilience, patience, and most importantly, how to enjoy your own company. After 2 nights in the forest, it was time to pack up and head back to civilization. As I hiked back, I felt refreshed, recharged, and more connected to the natural world than ever before. So, if you've ever thought about going on a solo camping trip, I highly encourage you to do it. Start small, be prepared, and embrace the adventure. That's it for today's episode of the Wilderness Adventure Podcast.